Do you remember when I was talking about the fourth turning the first time I came on, and it was like during a crisis period, the most advanced weapons of war are used? What you just explained, Lydia, seems it to me. Like, torture on the deepest psychological level. Then getting back to the prison thing, what's interesting is like, prison, at least it has this, attempt in the title of being a rehabilitation facility.
Right.
Could something like that actually get more targeted into rehabilitation? Because I know that, I think it was in, not Nevada, it might have been Arizona. There was a prison where they just decided to dress all the inmates in pink, paint all the walls pink, and it lowered crime incredibly. And then there's this other one in Thailand when I was out there training in Muay Thai, where you could actually fight your way out, and their world champion fought his way out of prison. You could actually fight it out.
Really? Like in Batman, when they're like, if you can climb out, you're free.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this guy did. He became world champion. Then Dave LeDuc, a Canadian, came and whooped his ass in bare knuckle boxing.
Wow.
But like, I think there's more we could do prison wise to not make it what prison does to people. I think you could probably get more intelligent with what you said, using the metaverse or whatever, maybe plant medicine, something like that.
Yeah.
You just can't force people to do plant medicine, at least morally,
Administrate psychedelics to prisoners, you mean?
Ayahuasca.
Well,
how many people have these life-changing experiences under right guidance? Under the wrong guidance, it could be the worst thing in your
what
life,
if we start programming prisoners? What if, we get to this point where such bad things happen in our society, we just say, you know what, it is better that we neural link or, program the brain. Instead of sending them to prison, we, like you were mentioning with child predators, we wire their brain in a way so that they cannot act on certain impulses or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, turn off the aggression, turn off attraction. Because don't they already chemically castrate some people? Do they do that?
I believe so, yeah.
Could be wrong about that. Maybe that was a movie.
Not in every I think I've heard of that in countries. I know that I heard that recently, people in Ukraine saying, like, if we capture Russians, we're going to castrate them.
But that's like a threat of, like, to
and that's in war as well,
but I mean,
not
like,
prison.
Do they do this? Because this may be just some, like, fictional idea where a sex offender gets, pills so that they can't.
That is child predators.
Yeah, that's.
I think so. Let me look it up.
I feel like I saw
But
that.
I think that's interesting because, like, think about, like, a lot of people say, well, prison, like, people don't commit some crime. Some people don't commit crimes for the threat of what might happen. So, like, imagine the threat of a Neuralink in your brain where all those urges go away, and it's not up to you anymore.
What if? I mean, man, Neuralink is some scary stuff, man. Because I don't think we even understand how terrifying it can be. It's not going to be wired. It's going to be wireless. Why would you need a wired cable? No, it's going to Wi-Fi connect to your brain, and then someone's going to hack your brain and make you experience some crazy stuff. And then what happens if someone hacks your brain, and then you're feeling like you're being attacked by ninjas, and you're really just beating the crap out of strangers?
The lack of control is just probably the most horrifying thing to me.
I think social media is like the early adoption of that, the way people can be twisted just by media.
Well, I was even thinking with, like, metaverse stuff, like, we've seen, especially with Gen Z and, my generation that's grown up with social media, just like our slew of mental health issues, and the way that we are desensitized to basically everything, and the way that we function is so drastically different than other generations. I mean, you look at, did a business program at Berkeley before I graduated, and we had this whole class on, like, corporate psychology, and it was all of these HR departments at huge orgs prepping for Gen Z, because they're like, you're so sensitive, you are, we have to basically rework our entire structure to prep for this generation that has been, royally screwed by social media. So it's like, if that is just what has happened with, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, like, what the hell is going to happen when we put...
The reason I asked you earlier how you felt about it was because I think what will end up happening, the metaverse will not be popular at first. Some people will get it for necessity because it'll be easier to work when you're using the metaverse, and it'll probably start with a headset. Eventually, they'll make some kind of simple EEG interface. Eventually, some people will opt to get some kind of, like, wireless implant. When the young people are entering the workforce, it's going to be normal. People are going to do it. It's not going to be an issue of whether you think it's weird or creepy. It's going to be like, oh, but, everyone does it.